you guys see this picture, like a 4-inch dick is like half of my fucking thigh. Right? It looks kind of big.
Let's fucking go. I also have another term that I coined the other day. It's called love inches. So I might be rocking 4, but with my love inches, I could be rocking 7. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, girls, like, they want to feel comfortable, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
That's why I promote safe dicks.
Right.
Over big dicks.
I fully support that statement, 100%. Big dicks are told throughout their life that alone is enough to satisfy a woman, which is the furthest thing from true. Things like comfort, like safety, like you said, like movement, like foreplay, they rank above dick size. I'd have sex with somebody like that. I love nice guys.
Actually, you know what? I'll read the first one. Playing with dick is so satisfying. You give it some love, care, and see it grow so big and strong, like a little houseplant.
Yeah.
We are live. We're here today with Jasmine Rice Girl. And now I've actually seen your tweets a long time ago, right? And I was like, hold on. I think she's a firm supporter of the safe dick movement. Yeah, long time ago, some of my videos that blew up, right, was, you know, is 4 inches enough? Yeah, those were my big hitters.
I love that.
I drew out this equation for why 4 inches is enough. And
I
that
watched
shit
that.
blew up on TikTok.
I did watch that.
Everywhere, YouTube, and I'm a full believer in, like, if you know how to hit the right strokes with enough momentum, that's actually all that matters. Way more so than your actual dick size. And I mean, like, I know where the female G-spot is. It's not a cave. You don't have to go exploring, you know, you just knock on it a couple times. But what about some of my comments from the videos? Did you pull up anything interesting?
Y'all giving me hope. I was seriously thinking of saving $15K just to pre-numa dick implant. Thankfully, this video got me really thinking it isn't worth it. Thank you for this video.
Right. There's really guys out here contemplating spending thousands of dollars, $15K on surgery.
Damn. I don't know. I mean, personally, right? Like, I think I'm an advocate for, like, cosmetic surgery. Like, anything that makes you feel good about yourself, that makes you feel better, makes you feel more confident, secure, that doesn't hurt anyone. Like, I'm all for it. Yeah. And if you think dick size is one of those things, like, do you?
Yeah, I think if you do have, like, a micro penis, like 2 inches, maybe that might be an option. But I think above 3, I think you might be good.
I agree.
I think you're good.
I agree. I would say it's like, it's a last resort. Like, don't do it just because you feel like you're being pressured to, or like that's the right thing to do. Like, there is no right thing. There is no right size. Yeah. There is just, like, you figuring things out with another person. So I tweeted right before coming here, actually, you know, like, dick sizes, all these conversations in mind. Yeah. And I had actually taken this photo where, like, I used tape measure to, like, look at different dick sizes on me. And I mean, I'm small, but, like, if you guys see this picture, like, a 4-inch dick is like half of my fucking thigh. Like, it's big. Yeah. It looks kind of, right? It looks kind of big.
Yeah. And proportional, right?
So, I mean, that's what I tweeted, was that picture that I had taken. And just with the caption, like, I don't know, 4 inches is honestly kind of big. You know?
Girl goes, 4 inches sounds painful. Oh my God. Imagine being that huge.
And no, but like the comments from both, you know, men and women are like true, like real, based. So women think so too.
This guy said, my Asian heart is crying. Thank you for doing this, not only for me, but also for all the people that have been suppressed by false imagery. The only size of
it is. No, it's so interesting. So, I mean, I feel like women get, there's so much of all this, like pressure to look a certain way, right? Like the whole like, like female beauty standards. And it's, for women, it is everything about our body. It's, like how skinny your waist is, how big your boobs are, like, you know, how clear your skin is, like how big your ass is, blah, blah, blah. And for men, it's I would say it's height and then dick size. Right. Yeah,
that it's something that you can't can't change.
And I think for both men, are like those beauty standards are false and unrealistic and harmful, and it's just like that's not what's important. So I'm honestly, it's great that you have these conversations with people and let them know that like it's nothing to be ashamed of.
When I first made the video, it was 4 inches. I didn't mean for it to be that deep, right?
Right. Oh no, that'd be funny. Imagine thinking like this is gonna change the world.
Right, but it's like, but it just blew up, and there were just so many guys that were just supporting the movement.
A 4-inch army.
Yeah.
As I should. And I mean, I think women too. Like,
this one says, I've spent years being really insecure about my dick size. It was always something I tried to laugh off, but the thought of being rejected over something I couldn't control scared me. this video really helped me accept what I am rather than flawed or lacking.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
See, I'd have sex with somebody like that. I don't know. I love nice guys. You know, if someone just sounds like they're really genuine. Yeah, that they care. Like that's all that matters.
Right. I think there is though a difference between someone who's really nice and someone who's not performing. Cause usually there is like, I don't want to say a correlation, but like some people are nice that they tend to have a less assertive personality. I'm not saying this for all, but a lot of guys who are just, you know.
I feel like nice guys are like more willing to adapt, right?
But nice guys, I think, need to learn. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do for this channel,
that
right?
Makes sense.
I'm a nice, genuine guy, but like,
bed.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Again, then you need to learn. You need to take feedback where it's like, no, like you should be rubbing it this way, or you should be like going down on it this way.
Yeah.
And you do those things.
All joke aside, us brothers in the black community range in size also. We don't appreciate the stereotypes either. We're kings, not animals for sexual pleasure.
True. But yeah, I think nice guys tend to be more willing to do stuff that you ask and request of them.
Yeah. And it's like sometimes, you know, you just want to get treated like it's like that. So what's your take?
I have so many things to talk on this. Actually, so this is my first time hearing the phrase safe dick movement.
Yeah. So I coined that term a while back. Because, you know, whenever I look at porn sometimes and I see the faces that girls make, it just looks like they're in pain almost. Especially from the big dicks, right? And I know it's like, you know, you exaggerating for the camera.
Right.
But, yo, that don't look comfortable. But see, what I could provide is safety.
Okay.
Right? And that's like, you know, girls, like, they want to feel comfortable, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
That's why I promote safe dicks.
Right.
Over big dicks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I fully support that statement 100%. I think it's interesting, right, as someone who has had sex, when, like, with dicks, I think I have a size where it's like, it's too big. That can be a bad thing.
What's that?
The biggest I've had was 7, which was fine, but I don't think I would ever go bigger than 8.
Right.
Ever. Or even above 7, I feel like it's pushing it.
Yeah.
Especially, and I guess we can go into this because I feel like I've talked about this before with people and I've made tweets about this, but I think...
What tweet exactly? Let's bring up the tweet.
I think it was literally... I said something along the lines with like big dick is so overrated because most of the time they don't know how to use it and it just tends to hurt, which is true. I feel like a lot of guys with big dicks are told throughout their life that like that's all they need to have. That alone is enough to satisfy a woman, which is the furthest thing from true. It actually results in a lot of pain sometimes because if you're not getting a girl wet, that shit hurts.
Talk to
And so, you know, like what you said, and I watched your video. your video with the formulas and the and like I took AP Calc in high school. I got a 5. I'm good at math. And your formula is solid.
It kind of makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. It all adds up. I think things like comfort, like safety, like you said, like movement, like foreplay, they rank above dick size.
Who do you think are the top 5? Foreplay?
Foreplay is like the top.
Really?
I feel like there's a certain point with foreplay and sex where like I don't even care about your dick anymore if the foreplay is that good, right? Like if I'm about to orgasm from just the foreplay, like I don't like nothing else matters. I'm gone. I'm in heaven already.
Yeah.
So it's foreplay at the very top, right? It's how it's are you kissing me? Are you like fingering me? Are you taking your time down there? And then it's like you said, comfort. Like are you like asking me if I'm okay? Are you making sure that I feel safe?
Right.
And then when it comes to the actual sex, like the movement, like you shouldn't be going too fast, too deep right away. There is it's a balance.
And I also have another term that I coined the other day. It's called love inches. So I might be rocking 4, but with my love inches, I could be rocking 7. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like if she loves me,
right.
It
just
feels so much better, bigger.
Yeah.
Those are love inches right there.
Right.
So if she in love, I'm packing a good 7-8.
Right. I mean, of course, I think everyone can agree, like, sex with someone you love always feels better.
So much better.
Like, I feel like what it is like, if you're more wet as a woman, right, like, it will just feel better. And that's really what it comes down to, is can you make a girl wet?
Yeah. And now you speak about sex very, very, openly, right? So give the people a little bit of your background. Like, how'd you, like, were you on OnlyFans? Now you transitioned to FanHouse, right?
Oh, so I grew up in Houston, Texas, and then I went to school in Philadelphia. I was at UPenn for college. And like every, I guess, like healthy young adult, I was having a healthy sex life. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why I started really learning.
Were you single all throughout college?
No, I had 2 boyfriends, maybe more, but I don't know. They're kind of,
it's a distant memory now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had boyfriends, and then I was also single for some of it. So like both, right? Like I had sex with partners, and I had sex with like, one night stands, or like, friends with benefits, whatever. And like, so I started really like learning about my body, paying attention to my body, paying attention to what feels good, right? Communicating with these different partners that I had. I think that's really when I started to talk about sex online, right? Like I would talk about, like on Twitter, I would make tweets about, funny sex stories that I've had. Like I think I had...
Let's share one of them. I mean, if you tweeted about it.
No, I'm not ashamed of anything that I've tweeted publicly.
Okay.
So yeah. We can, absolutely. I can think of one where I talked about, there was this guy who like didn't do any foreplay. And then, so I jerked myself off. That's something, I don't know if you know, women can do, is they can like rub themselves during sex, right?
Right.
So that's something I do if the guy is not performing. So I basically, I get myself off. And then, so I actually,
I'll take over now.
Okay,
sweetheart.
Look at me.
You don't got dude.
There was one dude like that, and I actually came before him. I was just like, I'm gonna finish, and then I was like, so I think it's kind of like, there's a joke, right? Because guys tend to do this, where like guys come and then they move on, and they don't care if like the woman comes or not. Like I've dealt with that. I know women have dealt with that. But I kind of pulled the reverse card on him, and I finished first, and I was like, all right, I'm done. Like, get off me. And then he was like, well, what about me? And I was like, what about you? And then he ended up, I told him, I was like, just go to the bathroom and like jerk off, or if he just decided to. But that's what ended up happening, is he went to the bathroom, he masturbated, and then he left. And yeah, I think that was like one night stand. And so that tweet went viral. I think that was like I was like 100K because I think a lot of people resonated. I think a lot of women resonated with that, where like, usually the guy doesn't care if they finish, and it was kind of nice to see the reverse play out.
Wait, what was his reaction, if you could?
He was just like, really? And I'm like, yeah, really, like I'm done. And then I'm like, I'm gonna go to sleep now. And I like put on my clothes, I like put my blankets on, I'm like, just close the door on your way out. And then he did his thing. Didn't know, like a lot of guys just don't know how to do foreplay. Because again, and I think what you talk about too, like porn, a lot of porn isn't about foreplay, isn't about like sweet romantic love, sensual pleasure.
Exactly.
Like it's just like, like it's almost
hey,
like,
I need a job, and then I'm sucking dick.
Yeah, so I think he maybe was just like not super experienced.
Right.
But I was like at first he was about to like put it in, and I was like, whoa, like you didn't do any foreplay. And then I swear to God, he straight up like put his finger like on my clit, like ding. And then he was like, all right, let's do it. And I was like
a fucking doorbell?
Kidding.
He just ding.
So yeah, I think that's kind of how that went.
These are the UPenn guys that you fucking...
No, a lot of, I mean, UPenn, but I think in college in general, like 18-year-old boys, and even women too, like we don't know how to have sex. Who is teaching you how to have sex?
No.
You gotta figure it out through...
Maybe it was a good thing I was a virgin in college.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Look, it doesn't matter what your path, what your timeline is, as long as like where you are now, you're someone that right, like knows how to treat your partner as well. That's all that matters. Yeah. So even though that experience wasn't the best for me, like I'm glad that, I mean, hopefully he learned something, and like now is a better partner for people he meets. That's all that really matters.
Hopefully. Yeah. I have a story to go along with that. Let's just call it girl X. I think it was like a first or second date. She came over, and she was like, things were getting hot. She was on top of me. We were making out, and then she hits me with, "You think you're gonna fuck me tonight?"
Oh.
And you know what I told her?
What did you tell her?
I said, "No, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and jerk my dick."
Did you actually?
I did. Like that's a test. When girls say some shit like that, right? It's like kind of it's like, oh,
interesting.
oh, we're not fucking tonight, or like you think, you know, but I'm like, I just like, I don't have to, I just you know. So I think like sex is kind of like a power thing. When you realize you could take the power away from the other person, it's kind of like, you know?
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. It's it can be like a game and a balance. I don't like to treat sex that way. I kind of just it's casual to me.
I don't treat it.
But
it's just like a perspective.
No, you're right, and that's actually so. There's a lot of like psychological studies too on like when you decide to have sex and how that like affects like partners and how they. It's interesting. There are like different gender dynamics too. For example, like women after having sex tend to be more emotionally invested in a relationship, while the reverse happens for a guy.
Yeah.
Not always, of course, but there, it was a correlated study.
That's biological too.
Oh,
you know?
It was just a correlation study, so there's no causation. But
you mentioned something earlier off the podcast. I was like, you don't believe in big dick energy, right? Big dick energy usually is equivalent to like maybe a guy who could be confident or cocky.
Yes.
Right, but that's what big dick energy is.
I guess.
But that's not a turn off for you. But I think sometimes people just think, oh, big dick energy. You walk around feeling you have you have a big dick, and it equates to confidence.
Well, sure. I get that. Like I think we like to tell people like, oh, that's big dick energy when they do something that's like, you know, cool or ballsy or brave or like whatever. Like I've been told I have big dick energy, right? Because of my tweets, because I'm not afraid to talk about these things or share my stories. But like to me when I hear that, it's like, actually, no, like this is pussy energy. So I have a pussy. And I'm not afraid to talk about it. So what it really is right, like accurately, it's pussy, and it's not and like I just feel like realistically, like if I had a big dick, I don't know, like would I be like the person that I am?
Right.
And
you have big wop energy.
Maybe. Sure. Yeah, I guess that's the female equivalent. But see, like, isn't that an interesting comparison though? Because for women, it's like, it's like wet pussy energy. Right. Which is about, like, that's not a like physical trait. Okay. Right. That's like a bodily function. Right. Like every pussy can be wet. But like not every dick could be big. Yeah. Right. Okay. So like it's like. Yeah, it's like it's not the same comparison. Okay. Like the same comparison would be if we said like hard dick energy, right, versus like soft dick energy, which I feel like I would like better. Yeah. Because that's something like a guy can more or less control. Right. Like like when you're hard, it's like, ooh, like damn. Look
Yeah. I could penetrate anything in life.
Exactly. But like I don't know. I just feel like a lot of guys I've met who have big dicks, like feel like that's such an important like redeeming quality that they don't put effort into anything else.
So you don't think big dicks should be tied to such high esteem?
Yes, that's it because then people are just like, oh, I have a big dick, that means I'm cool, I don't need to do anything else. I'm just gonna shove it in and she's gonna enjoy it because it's a big dick, which is not true. And I mean, we can pull up tweets
actually, you know what, I'll read the first one. Playing with dick is so satisfying. You give it some love, care, and see it grow so big and strong. Right. Like a little houseplant. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. What were you doing at this point in time? This is a tweet at 2:58 p.m. in the afternoon. You're just, you know?
I think
you were just watering your houseplant. Hold on.
I don't know. Thoughts just come to me, you know? Like it just rains down on me sometimes, and but I think that's how I feel, right? Like foreplay is fun, and I'm sure, right, like for men or people that have sex with women, right, like it's fun to get a girl wet, because you're like, I'm making her feel good, I'm doing a good thing, and vice versa too. It's fun to make a dick hard, right, like I'm putting effort, like I said, showing it love and care, and then it's like you can see, right, it's like kind of like a houseplant. If you're watering, you're taking care of it, it grows. Or like, you know, those little like anything, or like little plant mom, or like bread too, right, like
you're a little plant mom.
It like bakes and rises. Isn't it just satisfying?
Right. You see it in the oven, like, wow. Right. It's getting there. Yes. Yeah. You follow up with, this is why I always cry during sex. I'm so proud.
That's a joke. Actually, I don't really cry during sex, but I am proud. I'm so I look at it and I'm like, that's
I did that.
Yes.
I did that. Pro tip: if you spit on his dick, it's like watering the seed. It will sprout. That's true.
Yeah. You know? No, it's true. You want to give it moisture. You want to...
If your plant grows fruit, you can eat and swallow the seeds as they're nutritious.
No, dead ass. I forgot I tweeted the rest of that. Honestly, I must have been horny. You know, sometimes I get horny in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And then I decide to.
You're just bored, huh?
Oh yeah. So much.
I think girls, they don't get horny the same way guys do. Yes and no, but like I see that girls get a lot hornier when they're bored, but guys get horny from like anything, like looking. Maybe like we look at our mouse pad with like titties on them. And I was like, oh shit. When he's under 6 feet, has a small dick, and genuinely cares about you, and it's a picture of you tying your hair up, so it's genuinely that's love.
No, a lot. It is love. I think. I mean, when did I tweet that?
This is last year, March
of 2021.
It's funny. This was also at like 2:50 p.m.
I can't remember if I'm single or maybe like seeing someone, but I think that was because I was with someone like that. I think most people I've been romantically involved with are like that. I tend not to date guys over 6 feet because I'm 5 feet, so that would be just too tall.
Right.
And there's a kind of a similar dynamic there too, where I feel like a lot of tall guys make their personalities about their height, which I don't love. But yeah, I date guys who tend to be under 6 feet. I date a lot of Asian men who, right? Can we be honest? Like, come on. Like 4 inches is pretty average. That's pretty fucking normal. You know? And there's no shame about that. Like you don't need to have like 6, 7 inch. Like that is not average. That is above average, and I don't expect that from anybody, especially not my Asian dudes.
Depending on what continent you live in, you know, right. The average is
right. So I tend to date guys with dicks below 6, and honestly, like below 6, it's much less likely for there to be like pain involved.
What about like the girth, like diameter?
I don't know. I think I've only had one time where I'm like the girth is too big, where it was like, oh shit, like this is gonna take like lube to like get it in.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think there's a good range of like it's all fine.
Yeah. Is it awkward sometimes? One night stands? No, it's not awkward.
No. I mean, I think I'm very comfortable with my body, and like I think it's fun, and you establish like kind of boundaries and all that.
What's the craziest like one night stand? Like the guy just like, yo, let's do anal. Let me eat your ass.
I don't think I usually do that stuff during one night stands. Yeah. Because I think things that are a little more. I want to do it with someone that I'm like,
comfortable
like
with.
You can really talk it through. Like, oh shit, am I ready for this? Yeah. I don't think I've ever yet done things like anal on a one night stand. It's usually just more, just normal
plain
missionary
Jane.
shit.
Let's pull up some more tweets, Gabe.
Woke up feeling sad for no reason. I'm masturbating and going back to sleep. We're trying this again.
True. Literally did that this morning. Yeah. True.
That's why you're in a good mood?
I'm in a better mood now, I'd say so. Then I just, sometimes you just wake up and it's like, no. Not the day. And then,
let me just restart. Maybe this will be better.
It's because it's kind of like, so I think a lot of women, maybe men too, do like, but you masturbate before going to sleep, right?
Yes.
Because it kind of just calms your nerves. It kind of just like, like you send off whatever, and then you reset your body, you go to sleep, you wake up.
Right.
So I feel like you can do that during the day too, and it's sort of the same thing where like masturbate, sleep again, and then wake up, and it's like a new day. You trick yourself into being like it's a new day. That's what I do. I gaslight myself all the time.
You gaslight? What do you?
Yeah, trick my brain into like, it's a good day, be happy. Yeah. And that's one, masturbating I think is one of those ways.
A random fact I love is sloth sex lasts 3 to 5 seconds.
Oh, I know this one.
And you go, so does sex with men.
Yeah.
A lot of short kings, as in like. Yeah.
Oh, I mean that's mostly a joke.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty rare when it's but it has happened to me. I have had sex and it was like one pump and he's done, and I'm like,
is that more of a compliment to you? Like, yo, like he finds me so attractive and so hot that he just busted.
I don't know, but
what's your expectation?
Because then on the flip side, are you trying to say like, oh, if you last long in bed, that means you don't find her attractive, right? But I don't. It's like I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's fine. Like again, I try not to fault people for things that are out of their control, right? Like right. Like if you come back, like there are just people that like are more sensitive or less sensitive. Like there are people that last forever, and there are people that like don't last as long. But it's like make up for it. Like there are so many things you can do. There are so many things at your disposal besides just your dick that you can do to make a woman feel good during sex.
Yeah.
And so I do fault a guy if he comes and then he's up and out, he doesn't give a shit. But it's like if you come fast, then like finger me until I come.
Right.
Then it's the same thing. But
I would leave like coming should be the very last thing for a guy.
Right.
You should do everything in between. I think that will probably make for the like most fulfilling sexual experience. That also leaves the girl coming back for more, right? It's like if you just go in and get your nut and dip, then it's like, all right, cool. Right. You guys don't have anything to talk about afterwards. Right. Like there's no good Yelp reviews. But if you go in there with a lot of foreplay, shit, maybe have her vibrator, right? Eat her out, finger, everything. There's like I agree with that. So there's so many tools at your disposal.
But yeah, I mean, and again, I'll just cite it back to like culturally, we don't really teach people how to have good sex.
Yeah.
And so like again, I can't I don't blame guys when if like all you've done is watch porn and that's what porn told you is good.
Mm-hmm. And this is what I hate about schools. It's right that like they call it sex ed. But they don't teach you how to have good sex.
No,
like how is that sex ed?
Put on a condom.
They teach
at most.
They teach you about the anatomy of a penis and a vagina. Like, yo, throw on a video of how to fuck, bro.
True. That's true.
They teach it in middle school, high school, and then college. I'm like, bro, like, how am I gonna use any of this information?
Right.
I'm still a virgin.
Yeah. I mean, and even then, like, even if they teach you the anatomy, like, do y'all leave that knowing where the clit is? Like, I don't think so.
Nope.
Or like where the G spot is? Like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like, do people actually know? So yeah, like, so I learned from watching videos on, I think, fucking like social media, like on Twitter. But like the G spot. And even I'm surprised because I'm like, I'm a woman, I should know this. But the G spot is actually just when he hits you.
The roof, the top, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like the inside of the clit, basically. Like where the clit is on the inside. And yeah, that's why like size necessarily doesn't like matter because if you're in too deep, you're missing the G spot anyways.
Yeah.
So it's actually wherever her clit is. But I don't think most people know that. Like when I read that, like saw that first time, I was like, mind fucking blown.
Yeah. Just another day of waking up with a sore throat, wondering if I have COVID or if I swallowed too much cum last night.
Dude, that's a real struggle. And not just that. Sometimes it's like, oh, like, did I, eat too much spicy food? Or, like, maybe it's a cold... Like, there's so many things that can lead to a sore throat. I mean, swallowing cum being one of those things.
Oh, really? That's...
Yeah. I'm
really?
a swallower.
You could get sore throat from...
Like, it's not like sore throats. It's not... It's
I don't know
like,
if this is a joke or is
No. But, like, you wake up and your throat feels really dry.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, did I not drink enough water? Yeah. Like, that kind of feeling.
Just received flowers unprompted. I'm about to suck the fuck out of this boy's dick.
True. And I did. True.
Like, all you need is some flowers?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of women are so easy
I feel like
to please.
that's so like I don't know, like 1950s. Like nowadays girls want some like yoga pants and like some just
Oh.
I mean I still give flowers, but I think I saw something the other day and I was like, oh yeah, man, fuck these flowers, man. Send me some Lululemon's yoga pants.
I mean, it depends on, gift giving in general is a love language, right? So receiving something where it's like, oh, this person thought about me, they care, like, just makes you want to, in return, hey, physical touch, love language.
Right. What do you think is the number one flower to get? Like, is it a rose? Is it some sunflowers?
Sunflowers rose and sunflower together actually make a really, really gorgeous combo.
Yeah. How do I know this? Come on now.
I would say it's dependent on who you're giving flowers to. Like, you should know what flowers she likes. Right? Like, I don't know. I don't love receiving roses because I'm like, that's the easiest thing to get.
Yeah,
but really dependent. Like, some girls love lilies, some girls love sunflowers.
Yeah, I think now let's transition a little to some of the Down Bad Show DMs. All right, so I got a bit of a story here. Hey Jimmy, was watching one of your Down Bad shows, so wanted to share my story with you. I met this girl at the club about 4 months ago. I liked her when I met her, and according to a mutual friend, she liked me back. So like a month later, we met back at the same club. I invited her on a date. 3 days forward, I invited her as a prom date, and we were doing so great. After the prom, I went on Christmas vacations for over a month. We were texting nonstop, and we had our cute texting going. Like, she even told me she liked me and really cared about me. When I came back from vacation, I get a message from her saying that she isn't ready for a relationship. Ends up telling me that we're better as friends. Then, this last weekend, we met and clarified everything. Her sister tells me that she is super in love with me, which confuses me, but she told me again, we shouldn't go into a relationship. I'm down bad. I really want to keep trying even when this last weekend she dumped me. I know we were talking about this is
no, I have lots of thoughts on dating in general too.
Yeah, so what do you think went wrong here?
I don't know if anything went wrong in particular. It just kind of sounds like misaligned expectations. I mean, so the thing is, he says when he's like, okay, we clarified everything, right? So I mean, he didn't go into detail, but I'm assuming like they met up and he asked like, why don't you want a relationship? And she probably gave all these reasons like, I whatever, I'm still recovering from a breakup, whatever it is. And I feel like if it doesn't make sense to you, then you should be asking like, well, why? Help me understand. But if you've already understood her reasons, then I just kind of think it should be there. Like you call it there. Like a relationship should be reciprocal. And it's like relationships are so much more than just feelings, right? Like, oh, you have feelings for each other, but there's more than that. Like, do you actually get along? Are you compatible? Like, do you want to make this work out? So much of relationship is choice.
Yeah.
And if her mind is just not there, like, yeah, if she doesn't want a relationship, like, it doesn't matter if she's in love with you. You shouldn't be chasing after something that only you want. Yeah. That doesn't sound like that's gonna end up well for you.
So I see this as a problem when they were just like texting nonstop, cute texts. Like, I would only start doing that after like the love and the relationship part is set in stone. If I'm just starting to date someone, I'm not texting them all the time. Does that make sense?
Yes. I'm the opposite though. Like I'll text someone all the time, even just in the talking phase, because I think that's how you get to know someone and be like, do you want more out of this?
Yeah, but then at some point it's like, hey, let's go out, let's have an in-person experience rather than, because from what it sounds like, it's like a month of them like.
It sounds like they hung out a few times while texting.
That kind of scenario, it's like when you come back, you probably like was looking for a relationship because you guys built this chemistry like over phone. You know, you felt like, okay, like, you know, we got this connection, it's time for a relationship. But for a girl, it's like, no, that's more of a friendly thing to just be texting a guy. There isn't that romantic aspect that hasn't been established yet, and you establish that by going on dates, by going out together. And you know, a relationship encompasses all those things. But if you're just doing the texting, cute texting, it's not a relationship. I don't think it's a true, like, a romantic relationship.
I mean, to me, it sounds like they did, like, he took her to prom, like, they were doing in-person stuff, too. But I agree with you on, like, I just really think, like, you need to establish where you want to go with something, right? Like, even, like, if I match with someone on a dating app, like, I try to make it clear if, like, only looking for something friendly, or, like, only looking for a hookup, or, like, actually I'm looking for something, like, that might be a relationship.
Have you ever had a moment where it's, like, you're just like, oh, I'm only looking for a hookup, and then it turned into a relationship? Like, you were going into it like, yeah, like this guy is probably not anything, but he ended up to be like kind of charming, kind of cool to hang out with, kind of got his shit together. Damn, I wouldn't mind dating him.
Kinda, but that's only during phases where I'm not like, it's not like strictly like, oh, I don't want a relationship.
Okay.
Right? Like sometimes it's like, and like, I prefer a hookup, but like we can see where it goes.
Yeah.
But I don't know, this story kind of reminds me of this guy I was seeing in college where like, yeah, we matched on like a dating app. We started going on dates. We were having sex, and like I really liked him, and I think he really liked me too. Like, you know, it was like romantic shit. Like he'd like come over for no reason, just like cuddle at night. Right? Like romantic shit. But yeah, like I try to establish like, hey, like where do you want to go with this, right? Because like, are we just gonna kind of be friends forever? Or are we gonna be a relationship?
How many months or how many weeks into that did you?
I think it was like a month in.
Interesting.
That I tried to like, where is this going?
Yeah.
And I think he kind of just gave some like vague, like I don't know, lukewarm answer. And I think I kind of just stopped talking to him because I was like, I don't really want to waste my time.
So at that point, when you ask that question, are you hoping for, okay, like I want to take you seriously?
I don't know. I think I just want to like.
You want a guy who knows.
Like
what
I
he
want
wants.
clarity, right? Like I want, like I'm.
What if he told you like, hey, let's just, because I think what he wanted was like no commitment, but we're still doing what we're doing.
I think so.
But you didn't want that because you liked him a lot.
I did like, yeah. So like when feelings are involved, I think I can't just do friends with benefits forever because then I'll get hurt. So it's like, if it's gonna be friends with benefits, like for me, I don't want romantic feelings. Then like if it's just sex, then we can't be. Yeah, then we can't be just cuddling and for no reason. Yeah, exactly, and talking to the night. So it's for, and there are people that can do both, but I can't. Like I want to split the emotional and physical stuff if it's not gonna be a long-term thing.
What do you think is the longest time that like a friends with benefits can last?
Well, for me, it's usually about like a month until I'm like...
Yeah, it's like we're doing stuff more than just fucking.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like...
I think it's hard. I don't think like friends with benefits relationships can last that long.
I mean, I've had one for like a summer, maybe like 2 to 3 months. But...
Was it just like call, dick, cool, I'm out?
I think we went on dates too, but there was no like deep emotional, like there was no like, oh, we talk all night about stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was I think it was very clear that it was just like for the summer, because I'm leaving the city, for example. For me too, there's also certain like characteristics in a guy where like I would never date them, or like I wouldn't catch feelings. And for me, honestly, like an ideal hookup is like the guy is attractive and he's good at sex, but he's really stupid. So I would never count, like, you know, like no subject verb agreement, like like, you know, there's this guy that like, I don't know, like we were watching fireworks because I think it was New Year's, and he was like, oh, like does fireworks, you know,
does it have fire though?
He should have been like, our fireworks or something, but he was like, does fireworks, and I was like, huh? I was like, what are you saying?
Does fireworks? Does fireworks?
Fire does work. In the right circumstances.
He has something like our fireworks always allowed like here, but he was like, yeah, like does fireworks always allowed? And I'm like, huh? Or like you know, like little things, like if they can't like differentiate between your and your, right? Like I like those are big pet peeves for me. Like I could never date. Like I've like dropped guys that I've like been interested in because I'm like, bro, he has used your, you know, one too many times wrong now, or like, and like doesn't correct it, like doesn't even realize they used it wrong. Well, they make perfect hookups is what I'm saying. But anyway, sorry, back to that guy. Like I think you should like final like, hey, I need to understand why you don't want a relationship, and then if she's not there with you, move on. Like don't be one-sided. That's never good.
Yeah, no cap. My penis is 2 inches soft, 5 inches hard. Is that too small? We answered
this.
Oh,
that's a perfect fucking size. Perfect. 5 to 6 is like a sweet spot.
Yeah, and also something we didn't really touch on is like sex positions. That also plays a big role
in dick size. Yeah, like there are certain dick sizes that feel better for like like doggy or like cowgirl. Yeah. So yeah, like just play around with what works with your dick and for the girl, you know, or the guy. Oh,
have you actually seen guys under 5'6" and be successful in dating?
I think there was a guy I was seeing and really liked that was 5'6". I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Like I feel like I don't usually notice height because most guys are just taller than me. Like they're taller than 5 feet. Yeah. So it's all the same. I do think it'd be hard for me to date a guy just because like I can't imagine a 4'11" dude. To me, that looked like a middle schooler.
Right. But most guys, I think most short kings are like 5'4" to 5'6".
Right, but like to me, that's I don't know. I don't think I even notice it. If you're nice, if you're a good guy, if you're smart, if you're fun to be around, that's all that matters.
My first time, lots of foreplay, then 20 to 30 minutes of activity. My partner and I didn't come, so I lost all my confidence in myself.
Just do better next time. Life is about improvement. It's about growth. You need to ask. You need to be like, what can I do better? Communicate, right? Like even me, like sometimes I like different guys have different preferences. Sometimes like they want it stroked faster or harder. Like, you know, I ask.
Yeah, and I think something about building confidence in bed is like it's about having like small wins, right? It's like, yo, is she like, are we moaning more than last time?
Oh, that's nice.
Are we, you know, or is she moaning more than before? Does it seem like she's enjoying it a little bit? Like, okay, you guys don't have to come, you guys don't have to, you know, hit the goal, but it's like, am I moving closer to the goal? That's what matters. So, like, don't focus on the end result. That's the same. It goes. It goes along with anything in life, right? It's like, you know, you could want to achieve that goal, but you know, focusing on like the small wins, it's gonna build that confidence back up.
I feel like I saw a comic recently that really, I was like, this is nice, but it was like there was like a little cute dude that was like, I really want to be good at something, and then another cute dude replies to him, then you have to be bad at it first. And it's like that's everything. Like, and that's sex too. Like no one is a fucking sex god their first time. And if you think you are, like, you're probably wrong, and you should go ask some of the people you've been with. Like my first time was bad too, but I look at it very fondly because it was.
Was it with a boyfriend?
Yeah, it was a safe, comfortable experience.
Okay. Did you get better with that one partner, like the boyfriend?
No. So we broke up pretty soon after having sex for the first time. I think I got better with like future partners.
Do you think you got better with like multiple partners, or do you think you got better with one specific partner who was also like matched your freak?
No, I think it was probably in culmination. But like I don't know, to some extent, like with each partner, it's almost like a mini reset, you know?
Interesting.
Because I just think people have such different preferences that I'm learning again. Like, okay, well, what works for you now, and what right? Okay. Like, you know, like because I'm with guys that like oral a certain way, or I've been with guys that don't like oral, so and they like
really
want to be stroked. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like every person is so different. You can't just apply the same for everybody.
Could be me.
Now we know.
What are some questions you should ask on a first date? Let's go with that.
I mean, I think like learning about them, their interests, like what they're passionate about.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy talking about. And then you can find what you have in common, right?
Yeah, I think on a first date, it should be like a competition to get to know each other. I think you guys should like, it should be bouncing back and forth of like, you know, interesting questions to like really get to know them.
Yeah.
Because or else a lot of times dates, it's a very nervous experience for a lot of people, and they let that get in the way of like truly trying to just like getting to know the other person.
Yeah. I think what's like reframing helps you, like if you try to think of like, if this is just a friend that you're trying to get to know better, right? Like, how would you want to get to know a friend? And I think I usually just let conversations flow. Like, I don't plan out questions. It's just kind of like, you go and, you know, how was your day? And probably they'll talk about, like, work or school or whatever. Then you dig into each thing they bring up. Like, like you make videos for a living. Like, what's your last video about, right? And then they're talking about, like, whatever it is, house plants. Oh, shit, I love plants, too.
Yeah.
You know? And you build off of that.
But conversation, though, it is a skill that a lot of people
true.
You know, it's learned from just practice.
I think it's always nice to like just ask like what someone likes, right? Like I love to ask people like, so what are you passionate about, like, outside of work, right? Like I get to brighten up because I get to talk about something that I love, and then they get to and so what I ended up talking about was tea, and then they also ended up being really into tea.
Really?
Yeah. I love tea. Tea makes me so happy. And then it's such an easy segue into future dates too, right? Because if she's like, oh, I really love surfing, and it's like, oh, let's go to the beach, or like, I really love tea, let's go have tea.
For sure.
So learn what they love.
This will probably be the last two. I'm trying to pull this girl that's older than me by 1.5 years. We have had 10 to 15 hour FaceTimes just talking, and her friends have told me that they think she liked me, but I'm a little too nervous to make a move. Yeah, that's another thing about a lot of these younger like relationships. It's like they do a lot of texting, they do a lot of calling, a lot of talking. Kind of nervous to like do that shit in person. But yeah, man, take her on a date. Have some of these 10-15 hour conversations in bed. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, yo, you guys can fuck, pillow talk, you know, it's just it's way more intimate that way. Yeah, that's a short answer. How to break up with somebody you're too in too deep. Damn, if you're already having these thoughts,
I mean, it's just one of those rip the band-aids off, and like if it helps, like honestly, like I mean, just think about the consequences of you not breaking up. Like it's only gonna get worse. You get deeper. There's no right or right like.
Have you been in a situation where? Yeah,
I think a high school boyfriend I had was like that, where like I floated it, and like he didn't want to break up, so we kind of like reluctantly dated a few more months, and then eventually we broke up anyways. Because if it's not working out, it's not gonna work out.
When did you start OnlyFans?
I had an OnlyFans March of 2020, so like right when the pandemic hit.
Were you dating someone at the time?
No.
Okay. Do you think it would be a problem for your partner if you?
No, I don't think I would date a guy that had a problem with a woman wanting to have an OnlyFans. I think I'm very body positive, I'm very sex positive, and I'm very like, do what you want. I mean, everyone has boundaries, and I think it's absolutely valid for to be like, actually, I don't want, you know, like people to see my girl or whatever. Like I think that's valid, but I think there's like, you should question like, well, why? Like why do you know, feel the need to possess somebody or to. I feel like if I had a boyfriend and I wanted to post nudes, for example, I would ask like, are you okay?
Right.
And if he's not, like we would get down to like why.
What if it's like an in between, like lingerie pictures or cosplay,
right?
Or like something a little bit like ass or something a little bit.
Yeah.
What if it's like that?
I mean, it's a conversation, and it's just like,
because like from a guy's perspective, it's like there's gonna be guys beating their dick to you? You're making guys nut. You are making other guys nut.
All I will say is guys already beat their dicks to my images. Like I see it all the time. Like I'm getting unsolicited dick pics in my DMs. I'm getting videos of people jerking them off just to my like Instagram selfies, right? So at the very least, like now I'm getting paid for it. Is how I think about it. So it's like I'm doing the same thing, and the only difference is I'm getting the bag. So do you support me?
But what if it is a little bit more? Because once you do start the OnlyFans, it will be a little bit more.
No, it tends to be. I think that was my experience. Is like obviously there's a lot of pressure to always do more.
Right. And then once you do see the bag coming in, it's like what is that picture worth?
Yeah, well, I think you need to set those boundaries between yourselves and have that conversation.
It is a difficult conversation, though.
Yeah, but that's why I think like the OnlyFans itself, I think like it depends on what she's posting, but it shouldn't be just like a straight no. Like that's like you're refusing to just even communicate with your partner and understand why.
I feel like especially now in this day and age, more and more girls are turning to OnlyFans or like other platforms, FanHouse. But how did your parents, like, did your mom, dad see like the tweets, shit like that? I think I have a very interesting dynamic with my family, but in short, my parents support what I do, but it's because I'm very communicative with them too, right? Like they know I have sex and I like hook up and like whatever, and they know I'm doing it safely and they trust me. And then it's also interesting because I like provide for my family because my parents don't work. So there's so it's kind of an interesting dynamic where I'm kind of like the caretaker and provider, so that it just really adds that they just trust whatever I'm doing to provide for myself and provide for them. And again, I think I'm just honest about it, right? Like, my mom knew I had an OnlyFans. Like, she knew the link to it. Like, I don't, maybe she even subscribed. I don't know. But like, I think I really live with being like, if this is who I am and, I believe what I'm doing, like, isn't wrong, isn't hurting anybody, then I stand by that. Right? Like, it's not, I'm Did they have an opinion about it at all? Or was there
they really told, I mean, it's just...
Is it one of those, like, you don't ask, don't tell, like... Because I never had a conversation with my parents about like posting sex-related video. Like before, it's just enough. I never talked about that shit with my mom.
I think my parents don't really speak English, so like
that's actually better. That's actually so much better.
So a lot of the tweets, I think, like kind of
they don't even understand.
Yeah, like she'll follow, like my mom follows my Instagram and stuff like that, and she's always just sending me like emoji reacts kind of stuff, like just really wholesome shit. She's so cute. But like anything they know is what I share with them. So I'll tell like mom, like, by the way, I made this much, and she's just like I'm proud of you, or good job.
Yeah.
So I think she was always very fully supportive, and she just knew that I had my boundaries and knew what was good for me. And eventually for me that was quitting my OF.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that about wraps it up. Go follow Jasmine Rice Girl for more horny tweets, and check out FanHouse. That's the founder right here. You know what I'm saying?
My FanHouse is just me talking about like like how sad I am. It's like so sad. Well, no, it's not all sad. I also take pictures of my walks, and I do singing covers still. But that's the kind of vibe where it's like I feel like I get to be human. Like it's not like I'm putting on like, oh, this is for Instagram, oh, this is for Twitter, this is for viral content. It's just like me being me.
It's like a Finsta.
A little bit. A little bit. Yeah, it feels like paywalled social media.
So yeah, check out FanHouse, check out Jasmine, and thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having me.